You stayed late 3 nights in a row. You found the flaw nobody else caught. You rewrote the messy section, and you quietly made the whole project work. Then came the meeting, and the person sitting 2 seats down from you leaned forward and said, "Here is what I built." 6 months later, that exact same person is standing at the front of the room with a new title, and you are sitting at the exact same desk. This scenario plays out in thousands of offices every quarter, and it leaves behind a deeply frustrating question. Why does the person who takes the credit keep climbing, while the person who actually does the labor disappears? To understand what is happening here, look at these 2 notes. There is a gap between the act of doing the work and the act of being seen doing the work. The corporate machine is largely incapable of measuring actual heads-down effort. It only knows how to score what it can observe. To succeed, you have to play the game that is actually being scored. Start with the coworker who claimed your work. The most uncomfortable truth about that person is that they do not view themselves as a thief. They aren't lying awake feeling guilty, because in their own memory, they genuinely believe they contributed more than you did. This is a built-in feature of human psychology called the self-serving bias. We instinctively take internal, personal credit when things go well, and we blame external situations, like bad timing or difficult clients, when things fall apart. When researchers aggregate 69 studies of 10,000 subjects, we see a uniform skew. Everyone defaults to a self-flattering memory. Placed inside a 5-person team, each bias inflates its own slice. The perceived credit adds up to mathematically impossible numbers. Who keeps the actual score? Your manager. But managers operate with a severe information deficit, seeing only meetings and emails. A study of 120,000 employees shows managers default to routing rewards to easily observable inputs, the loud and present. Because managers are starved for accurate visibility, they rely on whatever catches their attention. The self-deluded vocal coworker becomes the default winner of a system running on bad data. But that raises an obvious question. If someone is constantly talking themselves up, why on earth do they succeed? Everyone in the room can see exactly what they are doing, and research shows their peers find it incredibly annoying. The corporate system measures value using separate scoreboards. While a braggart's likability score plummets with peers, their competence score rises. Why? The manager hears loud confidence, passes it through a limited filter, and translates it into capability. Meanwhile, the quiet, hardworking victim of this theft rarely rebels. They almost never quit in protest. Instead, they do something much more damaging. They train themselves to brace for it. Studies on team credit show that employees slowly lower their own expectations. Over time, being overlooked stops feeling like a betrayal and starts feeling like the natural, unavoidable order of the office. This creates a perfectly durable machine. The thief feels entirely justified. The boss believes they made an informed decision, and the victim quietly accepts their own invisibility. Surviving this system does not require you to become an unethical, loud credit thief. You simply have to insert accurate data into the system before someone else writes the story for you. Visibility is the process of closing the information gap between your labor and the manager's perspective. It is distinct from volume or bragging. Your first protocol is documentation. When a project wraps, send a short factual summary email naming exactly who owned what. You are creating a permanent data point that will slice straight through your coworker's fuzzy, self-serving memory months down the line. Second is the slow drip. Supply your manager with microscopic updates while the project is happening. A 2-line message about a tricky problem you just solved builds an accurate, real-time picture in their head. Third is the graceful correction. If someone claims your work live in a meeting, do not explode and do not stay silent. Ask a calm, non-accusatory question. I built that piece, so I want to ensure we're framing it as a team effort. Was that intentional? You force a public correction on the record without starting a war. Since distance breeds neglect, remote and quiet workers have to be more proactive. Agree on who owns which piece out loud before the project even succeeds. The office will never reward the best work. It only rewards the work it can see. But visibility is a choice. You can decide right now to stop letting other people narrate your value. If you've ever watched your credit walk out the door, hit the subscribe button. We break down the psychology of the workplace every single week. Give this video a like if it gave you a strategy for Monday morning, And drop your own stolen credit stories in the comments below. I read them, and the best ones usually turn into future videos. Take care of yourself out there, and I'll see you in the next one.